The Tale of the Enchanted Toymaker. Chapter 1. The Mysterious Glow. It was an ordinary evening in the quiet town of Willowbend. The streets were still, the windows of every house glowing faintly with soft lamplight. However, something magical was stirring in a small toy shop at the edge of town. Inside, a young girl named Lily stood gazing at the dusty shelves full of wooden trains, dolls, and colourful tops. The shop was owned by Mr. Whindle, a kind old toy maker who had lived in Willowbend for as long as anyone could remember. Lily loved visiting the shop after school. There was something about the creaky floorboards, the smell of wood shavings, and the soft ticking of the old grandfather clock that made her feel cozy. But tonight there was something unusual. At the back of the shop, a soft shimmering light seemed to peek out from behind a curtain. It wasn't there before. "Mr. Whindle," Lily called, curiosity tugging at her. "Yes, my dear," replied Mr. Whindle, his glasses perched on his nose as he carved a tiny wooden horse. "What's that glowing light back there?" she asked, pointing towards the back of the shop. Mr. Whindle paused, looked at her with a twinkle in his eye, and smiled. "Ah, you've spotted it, have you?" He set the wooden horse aside and stood up. "That, my dear, is something very special. Would you like to see?" Lily nodded eagerly. Mr. Whindle led her to the back, pulled aside the curtain, and revealed a beautiful golden chest. It was glowing softly, as if filled with light. The chest was carved with strange symbols, and at its centre was a keyhole shaped like a star. "This is the chest of wonders," said Mr. Whindle in a whisper. "It holds toys unlike any other, but it can only be opened by someone who truly believes in magic." Lily's eyes widened. She had always believed in magic, and she felt a warmth in her heart, as if the chest knew it too. Chapter 2. The Chest of Wonders. Opens Mr. Whindle took out a necklace from his pocket. Dangling from the chain was a key, shaped like a star. He handed it to Lily, who took it carefully, her fingers trembling with excitement. "Go ahead, Lily," said Mr. Whindle with a nod. "Open it." Lily took a deep breath, knelt before the chest, and slowly inserted the key. The moment it clicked, the room was filled with light. The chest opened on its own, revealing a collection of beautiful, enchanted toys. There were tiny figurines that moved, a toy soldier that saluted her, and a delicate ballerina that began to spin on her own. But what caught Lily's attention the most was a small wooden bird with bright, colourful wings. It chirped and flapped its wings, lifting off the ground and hovering before her. Lily giggled, and Mr. Whindle watched with a smile. "This bird is special," said Mr. Whindle. "It can take you places you've never imagined." The bird chirped again, and suddenly it grew larger, large enough for Lily to sit on. It flapped its wings as if inviting her to hop on. "Would you like to go on an adventure?" Mr. Whindle asked. Without hesitation, Lily climbed onto the bird's back, feeling its soft wooden feathers beneath her hands. The bird rose into the air, and with a flap of its wings, they were off, flying right out of the toy shop and into the starry night sky. Chapter 3. The Floating Isles. The night air was cool as they soared above the rooftops of Willowbend. Lily held on tight, her heart pounding with excitement. Below, the town looked like a patchwork quilt of glowing windows and winding streets. Higher and higher they flew, until they reached a place Lily had never seen before. A cluster of floating islands, each one glowing with soft, colourful light. The bird landed gently on the largest island, and Lily climbed off. She looked around in wonder. There were trees with rainbow-coloured leaves, streams of sparkling water, and flowers that seemed to hum with music. Small creatures, no taller than her knee, peeked out from behind the bushes. They had tiny wings and wore clothes made of petals and leaves. "Welcome to the floating isles," said a voice. Lily turned to see a small creature with a crown made of flowers. He bowed politely. "I'm Petal, the keeper of these isles," he said. "We've been waiting for someone like you." "Someone like me?" asked Lily, her voice full of wonder. "Yes," Petal nodded. "Only those who believe in magic can visit the floating isles. We need your help, Lily. Our magic is fading, and only a believer can help us restore it." Chapter 4. The Crystal of Hope. Petal led Lily to the center of the island, where a beautiful crystal lay on a pedestal. It was cracked, and its light was flickering. "This is the Crystal of Hope," said Petal. "It gives life to the floating isles. But it's losing its power. We need someone with a pure heart to sing to it. Only then will its light be restored." Lily looked at the crystal, then back at Petal. She nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. She knelt before the crystal, closed her eyes, and began to sing. It was a song her mother used to sing to her, a lullaby about hope and dreams. Her voice was soft, but it carried through the air, and the creatures gathered around, listening in silence. As Lily sang, the crystal began to glow brighter. The crack slowly disappeared, and soon it was shining with a brilliant light. The trees shimmered, the flowers swayed, and the entire island seemed to come alive with colour. Petal smiled, tears in his eyes. "Thank you, Lily. You've saved us." Chapter 5. A Magical Return. The bird returned, and Lily climbed onto its back once more. The creatures waved goodbye as the bird lifted into the air, taking Lily back to Willowbend. She looked down at the floating isles, now glowing brightly, and felt a warmth in her heart. She had done something truly magical. They flew back to the toy shop, and the bird shrank back to its original size, perching on the edge of the chest. Mr. Whindle was waiting, his eyes twinkling. "How was your adventure?" he asked. "It was amazing," Lily said, her eyes shining. "I helped save the floating isles." Mr. Whindle nodded. "I knew you were the right person, Lily." He closed the chest, the glow fading away. "Remember, my dear, magic is everywhere. You just have to believe in it." Lily smiled, the warmth of the adventure still in her heart. She knew she would be back to the toy shop, ready for whatever magical adventure awaited her next.